Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Tuesday night Band of Brothers Principal Call. Before we get to it, we always have those announcements that we want to share with everybody. So it's coming up, the winter 2026, January 29th to February 1st. And the room block is about to end on January 15th. So if you were thinking about booking a room, stop thinking. And then afterwards, we know the other dates that are coming up for us. We'll be in Florida, spring 2026, April 16th to the 19th at the Sheraton Sand Key Resort. Then it's summer back in Atlanta, July 16th to the 19th, back at the Marriott Perimeter. And fall, October 22nd to the 25th at the Marriott Perimeter. So you know what? You should just do your whole year and be done with it and don't have to think about it. We talk about these connect groups. I hope it's working. I don't get a lot of feedback to know if they're working, but it's so good to know that you can reach out, you can email, you can text and talk to someone, whether you need help or just share some successes. So keep working your connect group. I'm not going to spend much time introducing this lovely person, but Dr. Lara, she has a ray of sunshine that beams so strong from the inside out. And when you're in her presence, it is you're being enveloped in love. So I'm excited to hear what Dr. Lara has to share with us. And so let's get her on the call. Dr. Lara, take it away.
Thank you, Mindy. Thank you, everyone who's here tonight, joining me or in the future, listening to this after the fact. I know that sometimes we get really sort of isolated on our little islands. And so the way that we can get together here, even when it's virtually and just get re-dipped, is so powerful. And I had a practice member, a patient who came in the other day, and he had gone through something really, really, really trying. And I have a feeling that there's someone on the call tonight, maybe it's you, that needs to hear something similar to what I had to say to him, which is, I know that what has happened has been extraordinarily trying, and it is not who you are. It does not define you. You are still amazing. You are still awesome. You are still very, 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 very lovable. So right now, choose to keep on speaking life into your life and keep on speaking to what you want to happen and not to what has been happening. And one of the things that I've learned over time, and I'm still working on learning this, is that I am a compilation of what I put out into the people in my life. And so how I feel is really just a compilation of how I have helped other people feel. And so a lot of times when I get to show up, and you probably feel the same way in practice for people like this, I'm really kind of showing up for myself. And when I'm speaking these things over people in the practice, I'm really speaking them over myself. Because life is hard. Life is really, really hard sometimes. And what I've learned is that persevering through the challenges, through the really hard times, is actually a whole lot more what life is about than it is about getting there. There's some sort of sense of getting to where we need to be, but it's actually who we are and how we're showing up amidst that, where I have found that's where the juice is. That's where life is. Like, that's where relationships are. They're not at some pinnacle place where everything is beautiful and perfect. They are in the place where we choose to show up and keep on showing up and keep on showing up even more. So before I say even more, I wanted to say like a really quick prayer just to like connect all of us together. And just, God, will you connect my heart and your heart with the hearts of each and every person listening, each and every person on this call live tonight and afterwards listening to it, that I can speak you into them, that I can speak what the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart can act into whatever depth they need to hear, whatever new thing that needs to arise within them that can have that show up for them, that they can show up with a loving mind, an open mind, and a loving heart, and that anyone who is showing up with a closed mind or with judgment tonight, that you can just start a small, safe kitchen fire that's going to take some of their attention that they have to go to while we're on this call. In Jesus' name, hopefully everyone stays safe. Love you guys. Just kidding. There's one of my favorite Celtic blessings is, may those who love us love us. May those who don't love us, may God turn their heart. And if he doesn't turn their heart, may he turn their ankles so that we know them by their walking. So a good one to keep in mind. Watch out for those limpers. So now that we have all the right people on the call tonight, I'm just really, really grateful to be here. I was listening to, we've probably started to hear a lot about this epidemic of loneliness. And I was hearing something saying that from a health perspective, loneliness has as bad of a health impact as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. And so we all know it's really important to do things for our physical health, but taking care of our community health is actually a really, really important form of self-care. And that's part of what being here is. And really even more of that is showing up. So certainly showing up for DE, showing up for the people in our lives, and doing that in a real way. And, again, I think as chiropractors, especially, we are sort of this beacon. And I know that everyone that's showing up at DE on a regular basis is like a beacon of light in their community. And we are changing lives and awakening hearts in such an amazing way. And sometimes that can feel a little bit like, I don't know how it is for you guys, but it can kind of feel like we're on an island. Like we're all these little beacons of light, but we just see each other from far away. And so I know for me, one thing that I had to do at a certain point was start to be really, really intentional about the way that I was connecting in my life and with the people in my life. And so I remember one Lent, I chose to refrain from social media. And it was not just what I was refraining from, but then what I was replacing it with. And so what I chose to do was use that trigger, all of those moments where I thought, oh, I want to go onto social media. I want to get that hit of connection, that sort of real, sort of fake hit of connection that social media does. When I want that, when I feel like I want to go for that, or to watch a cat video or to scroll the news or whatever the case may be, to actually take that as a cue, as a trigger to reach out to someone important in my life and just send them a message, say a prayer for them, give them a call, an actual call on the phone, and have that trigger, like that loneliness trigger, be a reminder to reach out to the people in my life. And because what I realized is I have so many amazing relationships already in my life that I can be nurturing and loving and caring for. And whether you've never been to DE or you go to DE all the time, there's probably people in the chiropractic community, people at DE, and certainly people in your life that are those people for you. That is as much about what you're giving as it is about what you're getting. the way you feel is a compilation of what you're getting back. And so I want to slow it down just a little bit, because we were just talking about this. We're doing Tim Zook and I are doing a retreat in Iceland. Super excited about it, CE retreat. But what we really wanted to do was to say, okay, let's not just talk at people and teach at people, because a lot of us have already heard so many of these things, but to slow down enough that we can really do the inner work that our day-to-day lives keep us too busy to do, so that we can walk away filled up from the inside out, not from the outside in. So can we do that for just a second? So what I want you to do right now is pull out your phone or grab a notebook or whatever works best for you. Go into your notes app and type in the 20 most important people of my life. Put that as a title, 20 most important people of my life. And start to think of the people in your life who are absolutely the most important people that you have. These might be friends, these might be family members, these might be loved ones, these might be distant relatives. But these are the people that really mean something important and special to you. And these might be chiropractic colleagues. I know in this note that I have in my phone, it's really, it's a place that I have a section of my chiropractic people. It's a section that I've got family. It's the section that I have friends and colleagues in different areas. And so this is really about being aware of the roles in our life and not just the goals, not just the ambition goals, but the relationship goals. And this is one of my favorite ones. And this is that list that I refer to in those moments where I stop and I pause, and instead of doom scrolling or going on social media, let's get just get off the news. Get off the news right now and call someone instead and spread the love. And so this is that list that I refer to. And this has been one of the most powerful practices in my absolute entire life, that I'm able to do this and show up for these people. And then that feeds back. So then all of a sudden, when I am in a place where I'm struggling, where I really need it, I've got all of these people who are there for me because I have been there for them. And that was a concept for me, you guys. Like, I had to learn that, because it hasn't been natural for me my whole life to really cultivate lots of friendships and relationships. So that's something that over time I've just had to be very intentional about, because it's not always natural. And popping onto social media and liking someone's post sometimes is easier than making a phone call to them, but so much more rewarding. And so really taking that time to slow down and do that. And so I want you to actually make that list. If you just stop listening to me right now and that's what you do for the rest of this call, that's fine. Or put it on pause and come back as soon as you're done. But do it. Actually stop and do it. Take the time and do it. It'll change your life. And if you have more than 20, that's totally fine. And if you have less than 20, that's okay too. Keep on looking. So, and come to DE and you'll get 100 more people on your list. So, the other thing is kind of when we're talking about this idea of how we're showing up in practice. And so we have this sort of orientation that we talk about, this God, family, chiropractic, right? And so God first, and family, even, because a lot of times we get very goal oriented in our practice to, kind of put family aside, and that's really easy to do. And so bringing it back to those priorities, bringing it back to above, down, inside out. And so one of the things that I like to do, and this is one of my favorite things to do around the new year, which is the kind of looking at all of my life domains: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, social, financial, and really just say, okay, how am I doing in each of those areas? How am I doing in each of those areas? So I can sort of rate myself and see, where do I need to be focusing on in my life right now? And so really, really simplified version of that is faith and family, health, and practice. And so just pausing right now for a second and just looking at those 3 areas and saying, how do I feel? How would I rate myself on a scale of 1 to 10 in faith and family? And you can get more nuanced and break that down. But, and then how would I rate myself right now on a scale of 1 to 10 for my health? And in what ways? And how would I rate myself on a scale of 1 to 10 on my practice? And there's a lot of things in practice, right? There is the numbers, there's the finances, there's the service, there is the technique. A lot of times this goes down the wayside because we're focusing on serving. And some people are serving like 500 people a week. And they're like, I know what I'm doing. I'm adjusting a lot. Obviously, I'm really, really skilled. And I'm telling you, you're not really, really skilled in some cases. So sometimes we actually need to put some of that intellectual and skill and hands knowledge into that actual technique part of it, and slowing down and growing ourselves. So how are you doing in each of those different areas? And if you slow down enough to just like really pay attention to those relationships and those roles within each of those areas, what are the goals that you have related to that? And what are the goals when you look at yourself where you really want to grow in that area, that you would feel very, very fulfilled to grow, that you would feel more joy in your life? And so really just wanted to bring some practical pieces to give ourselves the opportunity to do the things that are going to really make a difference from the inside out, and to be able to be the most present possible for the people in our world, the people in our practice, our family, and with God. Because really, I was kind of thinking about this like above down, like an L shape. And then I realized it's kind of like this J shape where it's like connect here so that can go outward. And then that can lift people back up. And so really, really kind of being able to do that and connect with each other and feel even more full every single day. And so really thinking in terms of how is it that you can love bigger? So just like asking ourselves and I'm going to wrap up pretty quickly here, but I want to just like pause and take a second and remembering that we are speaking life into our lives. We are bringing even more of not what is, because sometimes, man, what has been showing up that we don't want keeps on showing up. Where it's like, I have been doing this and I have been showing up and this just won't end. And there's no end in sight, and there's no way of seeing an end in sight, and it's not getting better. In fact, it's getting worse. And those are the times where it's really, really easy to start focusing on what's wrong. And just to remember, I'm here to remind you, and for us to come together to remind each other, you and me, that what is coming out of our mouths, what is being thought in our heads, and what we are acting on in our lives and speaking over ourselves is what we see coming, what we want to see coming, what we believe, and choosing what we believe, because belief is the most powerful thing I think on the planet. And I know when I have showed up and decided to believe when there was absolutely no reason to believe, those times are when something whole different level has happened in my life. And I am so blessed every day because of that. And I have had really, really, really hard things happen. And sometimes those things coexist. Like, oh my God, I am going through heart-wrenching things right now in this moment. And I have one of the most freaking blessed lives anyone has ever had. And so remembering to keep on showing up in that dichotomy and knowing that it's okay for both of those things to be true. And so I want you to know that I'm here for you. And I hope that you can feel like you can reach out anytime. And in fact, reach out to me and give me a kind word. Give me a loving word. I think a lot of times when, speakers are on stage, they're like, if you need anything, reach out to me. I'm here for you if you need me. And I'm saying, I need you. And I'm not saying that because I'm going through hard things right now. I'm saying that because we need each other. And so start by saying, like, giving an encouraging word to someone else, giving an encouraging word to me. And that is a really, really amazing, beautiful place to start. So as we finish up here, asking these questions, how can I love bigger in my life? How can I love bigger in my life? That means loving recklessly, not recklessly for the other people that we're loving, but recklessly for myself. That I'm loving so big that it's out of fear or consideration for myself, but I'm stepping boldly into that love. How can I give, including outside of chiropractic? Because when we're talking about God, family, chiropractic, a lot of us, and this is what I found. I don't know about you guys. You probably are amazing about this, but I found for a really long time that I was serving in my office. And I was like, well, of course I'm serving all the time. Of course I'm doing God's work. But what I found is I reached a whole new level of feeling like I was showing up in the world and that I was really giving selflessly when I gave outside of my office. Not just, I give, care to people who are in need. And that is an amazing way of helping and supporting people in need. And when I showed up and volunteered in a totally thankless place for people that I would never, ever meet again, and spent 4 hours out of my precious Tuesday to do that was when I really felt like years of my life where I've been saying, I'll do that someday. I'll go to a soup kitchen and serve someday. I finally started doing it. And that was a big turning point for me, because he said, how you give to the least of these is how you give to me. And so giving bigger, including outside of chiropractic. And then how can I face what is wrong inside of myself? Lovingly facing that and turning away. Turning lovingly away. And making that turn around the corner. Paula said this a couple of DEs back. It was so powerful. How can you turn the corner where you look that in the face, that thing that you have been avoiding, that you think that you've not been wanting to look at, the thing that you have been ignoring, the thing that you have been saying, I'll change for years and it hasn't changed, that you can look it right in the face and turn away into something different. And you may have heard this, a buffalo is different than cattle in that when there's a storm, instead of running away as that storm is approaching, instead of running away from that storm to avoid the storm, a buffalo will run into the storm. The thing that the cattle have been running away from, the thing that I've been running away from, the thing that I've been avoiding, the thing I've been afraid of, the thing that I've been delaying making a decision on, the thing that I've been in analysis paralysis over, the thing that I've been saying, I will move forward as soon as insert safety, security need here, to make that different choice and say, I'm going to be a buffalo that runs into the storm because I know the storm is hard. I know the storm is extremely and dangerous. Like this could hurt me, But I also know that when I get to the other side of the storm, I get there faster by running through it. Because when I run away, those clouds catch up with me. And then I'm walking in the rain my entire life. And so I'm going to make that shift. I'm going to turn 180 degrees and I'm going to walk forward. I'm going to face what it is that I've been fearing, and I'm going to make a new choice to run into and all the way through the storm. And I know that that is what will get me to the other side. And that's what will get me into it. And into it is where I grow. Into it is where life happens. One of my favorite quotes of a mentor was, fail faster. Fail faster. You might get into that storm and you might fail daringly. But you'll fail knowing that you tried. You'll fail knowing that you gave your best. You'll fail knowing that you loved passionately. And that is one of the most important things that you can ever do. So those are my words for today. And thank you, God, that those are received by the hearts that need them. If you're just getting back from your kitchen fire, I'm terribly sorry. Hopefully that has turned around for you. And I love and appreciate you guys so much. And I can't wait to see you in a few weeks a couple weeks.
Well, that was wonderful. You put a mirror up for all of us to take a look at and ask some serious questions to ourselves, no matter where we are in our journey in life. I love that a lot. I also think that for the years that I've been on this earth, that the storms that you'll be running into are going to be a lot less dangerous for you as you do all the work that you do on yourself, on myself. So they go quicker. And
that's such a good point. You like learn how to skillfully navigate a storm, and all of a sudden you're like a storm expert.
Well, you realize that that thunderbolt is not coming anywhere near you.
Right.
So don't worry about that one.
Although I have also realized that we also have to try not to be like tornado chasers.
Right.
You know, sometimes we like create the storms. Well, we don't, there's plenty of them out there for you.
I think when we do that is because we don't want to stop and look at something.
Mm-hmm.
When we become the tornado chasers. But on my front desk, when I first started, the only thing that I wrote down was success exists in the climb. And then I wrote the different areas in my life that I wanted to have the success in the climb. And that's basically what you were talking about through our journey in life, is that it's not when you reach it, it's all those little beautiful things that arrive for us in that climb.
I've always had this visual. It's like when you get to the top and you feel like you're at the top, and like that's when you're like, I'm cool, I'm good. But when you can get to the top and then you can strive to the next level, that's when you get like projected to a whole new level. And that's walking the storm. Yeah.
And so the word that I have for you is giving. And thank you for giving everything of yourself to us tonight.
Thank you.
I will see you at DE. I love and appreciate you. And the rest of you that are listening, I love and appreciate you all. Good night.
Love you guys.